Alright, man, so another question I got for you, man. What are the first 3 steps someone should take if they have bad credit and not feel completely overwhelmed?
So that's easy. The first 3 steps that you're going to take, this was probably one of my posts that just went viral. I was basically explaining and breaking down the 3-step process as to how to dispute. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to go on to annualcreditreport.com. When you go on to annualcreditreport.com, it's going to show you all 3 credit profiles: your TransUnion, your Equifax, and your Experian. So once you go in there and you pull that up, now you're able to see exactly what's on your credit profile through all 3 barrels. Now, pay close attention. You're going to notice that there are inaccuracies on each of these reports, meaning you might see 7 accounts on a TransUnion and you might only see 5 accounts on your Equifax, and you might only see 3 on your Experian, right? So what you want to do is you want to put all 3 of these beside each other, and you want to make sure that all of these dates all are the same, right, on each of them. That's the first thing you want to do. If on your TransUnion it says you open up a Chase card on 5/19, but then on Experian it says you open up a Chase card on 5/21, well, there's a discrepancy there somewhere, right? We have to explain this. Somebody's got it wrong. Now, the FCRA says this: for your credit report to be reporting, it has to be 100% accurate, meaning there cannot be any accuracies reported to your credit profile. Any inaccuracies that's reported on your credit profile, meaning the credit bureau's got it wrong, you're eligible for $1,000 for each of those inaccuracies. That's correct. So if you got 2-3 inaccuracies on your credit profile, that's $2,000-$3,000 that you got waiting for you if you choose to pursue pursue disputing them, in court. Now, the next thing that you're going to want to do is you want to make sure that you only have one address listed, right? You don't want multiple addresses listed. You don't want multiple names listed. You don't want multiple jobs listed. These listings, all those names that's attached to your credit profile, all of those are attached to a number, a sequence number that you can't see. I mean, you can see it if you know where to go to look for it, but it's attached to a sequence number. A lot of the times when we're disputing, we can't get inaccuracies off, or it's coming back as verified, because your old addresses that you haven't cleaned up on your credit profile is still on there attached with those sequence numbers that they're attaching it to. So they're saying, look, you can't take this off of your credit report because we see that, in 2007, under grandma's address, you open up this account at the end of the day. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is, after you pull up all 3 of those, you want to make sure that you clean up all your personal information. First and foremost, you want to have one address. You want to have one name. You want to have one phone number. You want to have one employer on there. That's it, and that's all. And you want the most accurate. So therefore, anything that we dispute moving backwards from an address prior to the one that you're living to now, it's going to be harder for them to attach to those links because you only have one address on it. So that's the first thing that you're going to want to do, is change all your personal information and make sure that you only have one of each. That's the first thing. Second thing is you're going to want to start using the most aggressive laws to dispute, right? We call it consumer law. So you can go into something like ChatGPT. Listen, I'm not a lawyer. I know you're probably not a lawyer, right? None of us are lawyers. But you can go onto a website like ChatGPT and you can ask them, what's the most aggressive consumer law codes to be able to get the best results, right? ChatGPT will tell you. One off top is 15 USC 1681. That's one of the most aggressive ones right there, right? So a lot of this is identity theft. Identity theft created, most of this is identity theft created by the bureaus because they are taking your information, they're stalking us, right? They're looking at all your addresses, they're looking at all your names, all your numbers and all that, and then they're reporting it to a TransUnion, Experian, Equifax and all of that, and they're attaching those old names and addresses and all that to new accounts, and that's why these bureaus are able to verify. So, just real quick, annualcreditreport.com, pull up your 3. Make sure that you only have one name, one address, one phone number, one employer. Boom. Next, you're going to proceed to go to ChatGPT. You're going to type in code 15 USC 1681. Now, you're going to attach that to a dispute letter. Ask ChatGPT, make a dispute letter with that. Boom. After you do that, you're just going to plug and play your name and your information, and you're going to send it off with something like LetterStream. That's it, and that's all. It's that simple, y'all.